you will have a lot of interest in the centralized technologies, not only Bitcoin, that have been proven to be useful to deploy digital assets.
Are those like securities or like, let's just say tokenized real estate? Is that kind of an example of that?
Definitely. Tokenizing real world asset has high appealing on the capital markets hubs, and El Salvador having a very clear regulation and path to how to tokenize real world assets basically put us in a very relevant position. Uh, we have worked with traditional business groups of El Salvador that have been operating and having their businesses here for 50, 80 years, okay, 100 in some cases, and they are willing, they are open to explore this new type of alternative financing that will make more profitable their business, will also help them to get involved in new ventures, not on what they have been building all this time. And for us, that has been very, very positive. Finding out that these business groups are interested to also enter in this new type of alternative financing, not only foreigners or people from jurisdiction that they are used to get financed by those methods. So to us, as we are still very early in this, but is very fulfilling to see local business groups want to learn more and develop or deploy new business here in El Salvador also.
And it's also very interesting the broad spectrum that you can deploy from these alternative regulations, right? So tokenizing assets is one of those things. The idea behind it, behind the regulation, is having solid underlying assets behind whatever transaction that could be named tokenizing assets. So
not meme coins.
Yeah, for example, right? We don't want meme coins to be deployed from a regulation in El Salvador. But if you have real world assets, like solid, financial instruments that you can build on top of a decentralized technology, including, for example, layer 2s on top of Bitcoin, such as Liquid Network, you can do it. You asked something initially about securities, right? So this is very interesting, especially from the regulation of El Salvador, because our regulation expressly says that digital assets are not securities. So that's very different from a lot of jurisdictions, and it avoids confusion because you can build digital securities in other countries, not necessarily on top of a blockchain, for example. So that means that confusion can lead to, misguiding investors and offering uncertain conditions. And a meme coin, for example, could appear, and we don't want that. So our regulation expressly says that digital assets are not securities, because we also have a separate regulation, especially for electronic securities, which is another story. So if you want to build, products on top of Bitcoin, such as, for example, you can tokenize stock on top of a layer 2 of Bitcoin and offer it in capital markets, that's something possible in El Salvador. And you can come up with a lot of creative financial instruments using DLTs and the Bitcoin standard to create capital markets. So it's a wide avenue. And the big idea behind this is making El Salvador a place for money, right? So I think we are on the right track.